Wanted to do a quick video on the Dan Markel case. Specifically in this video, I want to cover the route Wendi Adelson took when she left her house at about 12:30 p.m. the day Dan was shot and headed south towards ABC Liquor with the intent of driving down Trescott and passing his house about an hour and a half after he was shot. If you're not familiar with the case, I'll give you a high-level overview. So Dan Markel was murdered on July 18th, 2014. He was shot twice in the face in the garage of his Tallahassee home after leaving the gym. He was followed by two hitmen that were hired by the family of Wendi Adelson. Four people have been convicted already for the crime. The two hitmen, Sigfredo Garcia, Luis Rivera, the middle woman, Catherine Magbanua, and Charlie Adelson, Wendy's brother. Donna Adelson, Wendy's mother, was arrested in November and she's awaiting trial. That's just a high-level overview. There's a lot of data points to this case and a lot of detail, and not going to get into all that. I really just want to go over the drive she took, or the route she took, from her home to ABC Liquors and then to a restaurant to meet her girlfriends for lunch. I have a presentation I'm going to bring up, and some of the data points are quite frankly surprised me, and they might surprise you too, and that's why I wanted to do this video. So let me bring up the presentation real quick. Bear with me. Okay, so we should be seeing that now. So before I get into the presentation, I just wanted to show you how I'm coming to these conclusions and the data points that I'm using when I'm presenting the data. So first, I want to just give you the addresses. We have Wendy's address, we have the address of ABC Liquors, Public Supermarket, Market Square Liquors, and the Mosaic Restaurant. The first slide is a slide that was presented at Charlie's last trial and talked about by Detective Corbett. So in this slide, he actually shows you the two routes: the route that Wendi took from her home to ABC Liquor, then to Mosaic. And you'll notice here he shows that she traveled. This is Trescott Drive. She traveled all the way here to this flag, which is where the roadblock was, turned around, and then went to ABC and then to the restaurant. That route he has as 20 minutes, 42 seconds, and a total of 9.41 miles. And then he shows you here with this dotted red line, he shows you the shortest route, which would have been had she gone from her home to the Publix liquor store and then to Mosaic Restaurant. And he has that as 3 miles, 3.63 miles, and a total time of 11 minutes, 7 seconds. The first thing I want to show you is when I did that route, I just did this today, actually, I come up with different numbers. And that's why I wanted to show you those addresses. And you can see right here how I inputted the data. So the first thing I put in is her Aqua Ridge address. The second one I put in was 3521 Thomasville Road, which was which is actually the Publix address. And then 1410 Market Street is the address to the Mosaic Restaurant. So the total route shows here 5 miles. It's highlighted 5 miles and 16 minutes. A little different than what Detective Corbett showed on the screen at the trial, but let's move on. I wanted to show you here, the second slide is actually a side-by-side comparison, so you could actually see the difference here. So you'll notice here I have the 3.63 miles, and I actually, let me just go to the next slide because I actually highlighted right here. You'll see I kind of blew this up a little bit so you could read it a little bit because it's hard to read from these two little slides here. So you'll see the route that I clocked was 5 miles. What he did was 3.63, and these are the identical routes. So I don't know how he got those numbers, but again, the total route would have been 16 minutes, and the route he had was 11:07. Now, again, I just wanted to share these data points. What I did was when I did this route, I selected a Friday and I just randomly picked February 9th, 2024. And you'll notice that I think this was Microsoft which I believe it's probably MapQuest. And you'll notice these little red things showing traffic area or light traffic. And then I guess it predicts what the traffic will be at that given part of the day, right? So again, the times are a little bit different. And I just wanted to show the time between what Corbett showed and what I found when I mapped it. So let me go to the next slide. The next slide is showing Aqua Ridge to Timberlane Road, which is actually Market Square Liquors, which is right around the corner from Mosaic Restaurant. So A is Wendy's house, B is Market Square Liquors, and C is Mosaic. This route would have been 18 minutes and 6 total miles. The next slide is where I really was surprised. If you look at the route that Wendy took from her house, and I mapped it out so she went down Trescott, the intended route, obviously she didn't make it all the way through, but if she took her intended route from her home down Trescott to ABC Liquors and then up to Market Square, the total path or route would have been 9.3 miles or 23 minutes. Now, what surprises me here is it would have been 5 minutes difference had she gone to Market Square Liquors and then Mosaic, right? If she went to Publix and then to Mosaic, it would have been what, 7 minutes difference, 7 minutes difference. So again, I hear a lot of different numbers. I hear she went 40 minutes out of the way, an hour out of the way. But if you really break this down and pump in real or input real numbers, what you'll find is the route she intended to take would have been a 23-minute route. Again, this is, using MapQuest, it estimates it to be about 23 minutes. And the most important thing to look at is it's 9.3 miles versus 6 miles. And what's that? A 3.3 mile difference. That's the part that gets me. The route that she took was only 3.3 miles difference than had she gone to Market Square Liquors first and then the restaurant. Now, had she gone to Publix and then the restaurant, it would have been 5 miles. It would have been 4.3 miles difference. Again, pretty shocking when you really break the numbers down. The last slide I just wanted to show you was a bird's eye view of the Centerville route versus the Trescott route. Now, there's a lot of talk around the community that she claims she took the Trescott shortcut. She called it the shortcut. Turns out when you look at the map, here's where she was coming from, Centerville. She went this way, obviously got to this point, had to turn around. Let's say the roadblock wasn't there. The route she intended to take was through Trescott and then to ABC. Now, as everybody points out, there's speed bumps on Trescott, and the speed limit is 25 miles an hour. And Centerville, it's 30 miles an hour. There are no speed bumps, but there are 2 traffic lights. I have the 2 traffic lights here. That's approximately where they are. Definitely one is here, and the one is in this particular area here. So now, when you look at this, these 2 routes are really equidistant. So you're really splitting hairs if you're going to argue that it's not a shortcut. The difference between the routes are speed bumps on Trescott, 2 traffic lights on Centerville. So again, splitting hairs. Now, I guess if you catch one of these lights, you can argue that dealing with these speed bumps is you're going to get there quicker going through Trescott. If you hit one of these lights, definitely hit both lights. This is definitely a shortcut, right? If you hit one light, it's probably, I'm going to say that the routes are probably, you're splitting hairs between the difference of traveling down a road with several speed bumps. And I think I've heard there were 8. I don't know specifically how many there are, but let's say there are 8. You catch one of these lights and you're probably going to get to ABC Liquors approximately the same time. What are they? Could be a minute difference. Anyway, that's really all I wanted to present. So when you really look at all the data points here, the difference between the route she took to ABC Liquor and whether she went to Publix or Market Square Liquors we're looking at either 4.3 miles difference or 3.3 miles difference. It's not. She didn't go 40 minutes out of her way. She didn't go 30 minutes out of her way. She didn't go an hour. I've heard all different estimates. It really was 5 minutes out of her way, right? So that's really the bottom line. So I just wanted to share that with you. I thought that was it surprised me. It might have surprised you. And if you want to fact check me on this, fact check me. If I got something wrong, feel free to comment in the comment section. And thanks for watching. And this is my first and only video on this case. It might be my last. So I'm probably going to take a lot of heat for this because I'm always accused of defending Wendi. Really just wanted to give you that data point. Again, feel free to comment, and thanks for watching.